Hey everyone, my name is Richard Chow, and here are 5 things that I've learned in FSHN 101. So first up, we have the Maillard reaction. In chemistry terms, it's the reaction between a protein monomer, such as an amino acid, and a carbohydrate, like a reducing sugar, in the presence of heat. And at the end of this reaction, we see the creation of food browning, as well as unique aromas and flavors that otherwise would not be there without the Maillard reaction. And 2 very common foods that we see this in are French fries and bacon. In the beginning, both foods have a very deep pink or yellow color, and they're pretty flimsy. After undergoing the Maillard reaction in the presence of heat, we see that the French fry undergoes a crispiness and color change, a very deep brown and structural change, whereas the bacon goes from a light pink to a very darkish brown, as well as that unique bacony flavor, as well as the crispy texture that we all love. Next up, we have moisture content and water activity. The storage life of all foods is affected by the presence of water. Moisture content is a measurement of the presence of water in a food item, whereas water activity is a measurement between the ratio of vapor pressure in food and the vapor pressure of pure or distilled water. Water activity helps us determine the storage life of certain foods because it is a good indicator of how well microbes such as bacteria and mold can survive in that environment. So the higher the water activity, the better these microbes can survive, which usually indicates a lower storage life. So if we wanted to increase the storage life of a certain food item, one way to do so is decreasing the amount of water found in that food item. Next, we have fermentation and fermented foods. In food science, the definition of a fermented food is a food that is produced using controlled microbial growth. And fermentation is the process by which microbes are introduced to help produce acids, gases, or alcohol without the presence of oxygen. And this is a reaction known as an anaerobic reaction. And why do we ferment? Well, fermentation can actually help improve the nutritional value of food, as seen in sourdough, or could create distinct flavors. Next, we have leavening agents. Leavening agents are typically found in baking recipes, such as cookies and cakes, due to their ability to create a light and fluffy texture during the baking process. Typically, we'll see baking soda or baking powder in a recipe, otherwise known as sodium bicarbonate. And when introduced to the acids found in doughs of the recipe, it creates the product carbon dioxide, which while baking helps inflate and create air bubbles inside the dough, which creates the fluffier texture. Finally, we have protein denaturing. Protein denaturing, by definition, is when a protein breaks down. In this example, we have a raw egg on the left, and after applying some heat, we see that the egg becomes more solid, especially in the white. And that is a textbook example of protein denaturing. And as it relates to cookies and cakes, we see that the denaturing of eggs while it's baking actually helps solidify the structure of a cake or a cookie, which allows the structure to be more fluffy and keep that shape without breaking down. That's all for today, and these are only 5 of the things that I've learned from FSHN 101 so far.